Good afternoon. Welcome to our very solstice-y, Christmassy show. I'm your host, Melissa Ridgen. We have an incredible guests in store for you. Lots of entertainment to bring you some joy. Jigging, singing, bird watching, even in Mohawk territory. We'll cover a whole lot of ground today. Rhonda Head, Matt Mack, Mikey Harris, and Miss Sandy Bay. We have gifts to share with you. They all have gifts to share with you, sorry. So something I wanted to draw your attention to, all you McDonald's lovers. I'm not sure if you've noticed yet this year how Indigenous inspired these little drinking cups are. It's the hot drink cups of the season. They feature artwork by well-known Toronto artist Philip Cote. Tamara Pimentel has the story on how First Nations imagery ended up on millions of these coffee cups.
If you find yourself in a McDonald's drive-thru for a coffee, take a good look at the artwork that's on your coffee cup. This typical winter scene is filled with Indigenous symbolism.
So the medicine wheel was the most important icon that I thought that could be put on that cup, because the medicine wheel is represented by so many different nations across the land at this point. And
Philip Cote is from Moose Deer Point First Nation in Ontario. He worked as a cultural advisor for McCafe to give suggestions to commercial artists for this season's coffee cup.
The Blue Jays and the Cardinals I thought would be appropriate because they stick around all year round. You know, a lot of Indigenous people are really connected to the land, and that white bear is going to be a sign it's our time to shine, to stand up and let ourselves be known.
Normally, it's Cote's artwork that's on display. You can find his murals all over Toronto, but this time it's his ideas that are making the art on these cups possible.
This is like a little, you know, a sprinkling of identity on a common place where everybody can see and learn, because it's not just for Indigenous people to learn, it's for everyone else to learn too. It's about understanding. And it's about equal opportunity to have a voice out there.
Tamara Pimentel, APTN National News, Calgary.
I love that little sprinkling of identity in a common place. Well, our first guest might be new to you unless you are on TikTok. Winnipeg's Mikey Harris, his sister Sienna, and brother Jacob are racking up the followers. More than 400,000 on TikTok, another 16,000 on Instagram with their mad jigging skills. And at this time of year, heavily infused with some Christmas cheer. Check it out. I wish I had that sort of scenery anytime I've gone Christmas shopping. I had the pleasure of chatting with the Harris family earlier this week. Take a listen. Well, we are so happy that you guys could all join us today. I was saying, I stalk you on Instagram. My son loves you on TikTok. You have brightened a lot of, the past couple of months for all of us, including I loved seeing the first one I saw you guys was when you took over the Dollarama, the Christmas aisle in Dollarama, which we just watched. How do you guys think of where you're going to go and dance?
So the funny thing is, when we come up with a spot, it's not really a planned thing. So, we'll just be out somewhere. And, for example, I went to Dollarama, and my mom asked me to go to Dollarama, pick a few things. And I was like, you know what, let's film in this aisle right now. And I literally just put up the camera and started dancing. So that's kind of a lot of how we choose. Or we'll be driving down Portage and see a spot that would be we're going to film there. So that's kind of how it comes about. Yeah.
Pop-up dancing. And so what's the reaction when there's people around you as you just break out into jigging?
So we haven't when I was in Dollarama, I waited for people to just leave kind of thing, because I wasn't sure how people would react, but we did the fork and people kind of stopped and watched. And actually we did one in Osborne Village, and there was a person that started screaming out of her window saying, yeah. So it was a really good feeling, and it's cool.
Who does the choreography? How do you guys come up with is this all you? Yeah. Nice. And you're the big brother, so I guess they don't really even have a vote in the creative process. It's just here's what we're doing. You're going to do it. I'm the oldest sibling, so I know how that goes.
Yeah, I mean sometimes we'll work on stuff together, and they have opinions, and we'll just throw it together and kind of.
So how long have you guys been dancing? When did you start? How old were y'all?
So I started at the age of 4. I was taught by my grandmother, Dawn Flett. And Jacob started when he was 5, and Sienna also hopped on when she was 5. So kind of like that 4 or 5 range is when we kind of all started wanting to dance. And, you know, we've been dancing together ever since. So, yeah.
And who's your inspiration? Like, I'm assuming you guys grew up looking up to somebody thinking, wow, can you imagine being like them?
Yeah. So when I was younger, my auntie Ashley, she was like the first in our family to kind of like, you know, take jigging to the next level. And I saw her at, you know, different performances around Winnipeg. And that was kind of like my main inspiration. I was like, okay, I want to do that too, right? And I asked my grandma to teach me. And, you know, the rest is history.
You guys have 346,000 followers on TikTok.
Crazy.
Like,
Crazy.
Walk us through that. How do you even get your head around that? I mean, that's a gigantic audience around the world.
I mean, you know, it's still something that we're getting used to. And it's just honestly such a blessing, especially throughout this time, you know. I was going through a tough time with like just, you know, creatively, because I've always danced, and dance has always been a part of my life. And, you know, when I started uploading on TikTok and, you know, people started like seeing it and it kind of blew up, it kind of gave me inspiration and motivation to keep going, and kind of let me know that I'm on the right track. So it feels really good, and I just feel really blessed. We feel really honored, and we're just going to keep going.
Well, we all feel really blessed that you guys make these posts, and we can see there's like such a kind of explosion of joy when you get to see these. And it's, you know, it's homegrown, so I think that makes it even sweeter. But and as a Métis girl, I loved my jigging. But it's like Winnipeg jiggers, young people, and they're just out there, you know, kicking so much. But has there been anybody that, you know, either on TikTok or Instagram that has given you guys feedback that's just kind of blown your mind? Like, oh my God, I can't believe this person saw us.
So it was a few times. We uploaded a Shania Twain video back at the beginning of the year sometime, and Shania Twain saw the video and she shared us on her page and she commented, and that kind of blew our minds. Recently, Twitch from the Ellen Show has, you know, shown us love on our posts here and there. Yeah, it's just been like just little things like that, just kind of just like, whoa, like that's crazy. And, you know, we get messages all the time from people around the world wanting to learn how to dig. So just even things like that just means a lot and just makes us feels great, you know?
What is next for you guys? Where do you guys want to go next with all of this?
So honestly, we're just riding the wave right now. We just want to keep doing what we're doing. We're just going to keep putting out content. We got, for the upcoming, like, next few days, we're going to be uploading some, like, you know, Santa videos. We got a Santa suit. We got some elf costumes. We're going to try to do that for, you know, the New Year's here. So we got a bunch of new videos coming, and we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. So, yeah.
And for those wanting to follow you, where do we find you on TikTok and all other platforms?
We all have our own platforms, but where we kind of post everything is on Mikey Harris, or you can find them at Jacob and Sienna Harris, Jacob Harris or Sienna Harris. You'll find us on there. Just literally type our names up and we'll be there.
Love it. And is there anybody you guys want to give a Christmas greeting shout out to?
Our whole family. What's up, guys? Merry Christmas, everybody. We wish we could see you all, but unfortunately, throughout these times, we can't. So we'll see you on a Zoom call.
Look, guys.
Hey.
We love you guys. Thanks so much. And we look forward to the next couple Christmas videos that you post, and all the best to all of you in 2021.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
They've now posted that Santa video that they mentioned in there. Take a look. Love those guys. Well, from high velocity jigging that gets your heart pumping and your toes tapping to something much more calming, a new Facebook page is bringing joy to many of us that are trapped at our computers all day. Sitha Birding on the Res is a live feed from a bird feeder in Ganawage Mohawk territory in Quebec. Thanks to Onawa Jacobs, you can enjoy these Ganawage birds from anywhere. She joins us now from near the bird feeder in Ganawage. Hey, how are you?
Good, thank you.
I'm so thankful that you could join us. I'm probably one of your more recent followers. I've only been following the page for about a week, and it was actually through our news director, Cheryl McKenzie, who had shared it with a bunch of people, I think just on Facebook, saying, you know, how she pops in there a couple times a day just to sort of calm down. Are you finding, like, is that how the page was created, or are you finding that that's what people are using it for now?
Yeah, exactly. I set it up a couple months ago, and I was really inspired by other bird live stream pages that I've seen. And I thought, you know, I really love birding, and I wanted to share this with other people as well. And it brings me a lot of calm, and the responses I'm having so far is, you know, it really means a lot to people too. And they check in like that, you know, if they're at work, they're working from home, they're having breakfast with their families, they just tune in for a little bit and connect with nature.
It's so good. Your page says our goal is to honor and restore the land, planting as much native trees, flowers, and plants as possible. In the last 2 years, we've planted over 115 trees alone. You guys have over there. We want to create a space that's welcoming and nurturing for wildlife, especially our birds. To date, we've identified 29 different species of birds. I mean, that's, I can't tell people enough to go and find you on Facebook, because there's so much to get from there. But what kind of feedback are you getting from people? Where's the bulk of your fans located?
Well, the feedback is really good. I'm surprised by the amount of interest that we've received so far. And, the fan base is from everywhere, not only from my own community, but all over Canada and the US. And we have some international visitors as well. So that's really cool. And I get messages regularly from elders and people who are isolated at this time, and they appreciate having that connection to nature that they don't regularly have.
I'm curious, what got you into birding?
Well, I've always been an animal lover since I was a very young child, so that's always been important to me. But specifically, I got into birding, feeding birds about 8 years ago, and it just was a passion, an interest, a hobby that took off from there.
What's the most interesting or notable bird or critter that you've had visit the feeder?
Well, we have quite a bit. You see a blue jay on screen there right now.
Yeah.
But one of my favorites is the pileated woodpecker. It's this giant woodpecker. You'll see him in the background sometimes. We've had Hooper's hawk come by. We have different colorful birds, grosbeaks. We have a nice red-bellied woodpecker as well that comes around, and he enjoys the suet. We also have other animals that have come to the property now that have been attracted. You know, we have this a couple of red foxes lately that come around too, so they're quite nice to see.
And what about for those at home who want to get some bird action outside their own window? You know, is there a certain type of food that we should be using, or does it depend on your region?
Well, yeah, it would depend on your region, I suppose. Different birds like different types of food. Here, they really, really enjoy black oil sunflower seeds. So that is really popular, and we have the suet as well.
Well, I love it. I encourage everybody to go. And I'm not sure that I was saying it, the page right. Is it Sita? Is that how you pronounce it? That's bird in your language? Sita?
It's pronounced as Dita.
Sita.
Dita.
Nice. It's a beautiful word, and it's an amazing page. I encourage everybody watching to go find them on Facebook. It's a great, you know, if you're sitting at home in your pajamas, you're a little bit blue, you don't have birds to watch out your own window, this would be a great page. And of course, it's always nice to break up your day, just popping in, checking in, getting that kind of calming effect that you get watching birds. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. You have a wonderful holiday with you and yours.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thanks. Well, the pandemic is causing a lot of families to miss out on Christmas with loved ones this year, of course. So many are taking their Christmas cheer online. We have to take a quick commercial break, but before we do, let's check out Sylvia Caribou and her granddaughter Nevaeh Caribou and her grandniece Azalea Castell. They're all from Puckatawagan, Manitoba.
Join our conversation now. Call in toll-free at 1-877-647-2786. Like us on Facebook on our APTN News page. Follow or tweet us at APTN InFocus. And send your thoughts to infocus@aptn.ca. Many of us have traditions passed down through generations. For Seguin's Darlene Amo, that tradition is a labor of love. She shared with us last year her grandmother and mother's Christmas pudding. It's no easy feat to make it. It involves boiling the ingredients in a bag for 3 hours. She makes many batches to give as gifts and has passed down the recipe and process to her own daughter. Here's Darlene with more on this touching tribute to her loved ones.
Well, it's a very personal story for me and really close to my heart. I feel really blessed, to have this teaching from my grandma and my mom, because it's all about the love that they had for their family. It was handed down from my grandma to my mom and now to me, and now I'm trying to teach my daughter how to make it. Yeah, it's a Christmas bread pudding, and it takes a lot of love and I put a lot of energy into making just one batch, and the process takes about, after they're mixed and everything, it takes about 3 hours to boil on the stove, steam cooked. And something here, you'll see the pot there, like my mom's pot. It's about, well, my mom passed in 89, and then she had that pot, I'd say about 10 years or more before she passed on, and I still have it. It's never been washed in with soap or anything, and every year when I make my batches, I use that pot, and it just seems to get better every year with the aroma, Oh my gosh, it's so nice. It's so beautiful. It's just something really special for me, because my grandma, Agnes Fontaine, she's passed now, and my mom passed in 89, and I was taught by them. I used to see them make them when I was growing up, and I knew how much it meant to them, especially my grandma. She'd make them for all her kids. She had 9 kids, and she was a single mom after my grandpa died, and she just kept on and would make sure everyone got a piece of pudding. She'd make each one for them, and then she would do this big shopping for Christmas and make sure everybody had a gift, like her sons, her daughters, her grandchildren. It's just so beautiful, just really cherished memories.
Welcome back. The pandemic has been a rough year on many, including those in the music industry. Rhonda Head is a 5-time international award-winning classical singer from a Pasquayac Cree Nation. She's one of our favorites here at APTN, certainly, and I got to chat with her earlier this week about her brand new song, Christmas Time Is Coming, which she is going to perform for us. Rhonda, I'm so glad that you could join us. How has 2020 been for you? I mean, you're normally jet-setting around the world. You're performing. You've been at home at Pasquayac Cree Nation during the pandemic. How's 2020 been different than a typical year in your life?
Well, since the pandemic came, a lot of my gigs got canceled. So we all have been grounded. And one of my performances that really stung that got canceled was I was going to New York City with the Flin Flon Choir, and we were going to go perform at Carnegie Hall in New York City, and that got postponed. So that one really stung, because it's such I performed there with the Flin Flon Choir before, and it's such a beautiful venue and great acoustics, and I love singing with the choir, so that one was really tough. And yeah, I've just been staying at home, and I'm still releasing some music, and I just recently released my a Christmas song that I wrote in August. I wrote it in 15 minutes, but it's really cheery. It came out at the right time, and especially with this time, a lot of sadness going on, and some families' lives. And, you know, like we're on severe lockdown in Pasqueyac right now after all our residents at our care home contracted COVID, but they're out of isolation now. Yeah, so it's just been, I've actually been really busy too. I started a new online show called Indigenous Superstars, and I've been interviewing Indigenous artists from all over the world. I interviewed some from Australia, from United States, from Mexico, and I just reached out to one of my other friends that I met at the Folk Alliance 2 years ago. She's Sami, from the Indigenous Sami people in Sweden, Norway, around there. So she's going to be on my show beginning, maybe even next week. We're already in talk. So my next guest is on. My next person that I interview will be my 48th guest. So it's been really a lot of fun. I've been enjoying it so much, connecting with my peers and just interviewing them, and then we get a show and we get to listen to two of their original music. And so so it's been a lot of fun. And you know, if it wasn't for this pandemic going on, I don't know if I would have taken a chance to do that, because I would be like, I'm in your seat when I'm interviewing my peers, and I've never done it before, and I'm learning as I go, and it's become like a well-oiled machine now, and I just totally love it. I want to keep doing it.
This is great. So you've used the downtime. I mean, I've heard people refer to this pandemic as kind of like, it's like downtime that our ancestors would have had. And, you know, they would have embraced it. Like, there's so much stuff that you can do in your downtime. And I think a lot of us, because of just the general busyness of how we live our lives in this day and age, that this downtime, you know, was uncomfortable for a lot of us. But it sounds like this was a benefit to you. You got to do something that you had never really thought or had time to do before, and you're loving it.
I am. It's been so much fun, and I want to keep on interviewing more artists, and I'm looking at going and interviewing designers and models, actresses, artisans. So I want to expand it, and I started a company, so it's been really, really exciting for me.
Where can we go watch these interviews and the performances?
They're on my YouTube channel, Rhonda Head. They can go and join there, and I also have a Facebook group called Indigenous Superstars. I also have a website, www.indigenousuperstars.com, and it's also a podcast. You can find them on Apple Music.
I love this. So let's talk about your new Christmas song that we were just laughing before we got talking here about. You know, there's the people who start thinking about Christmas on December 23rd, and then there's the people that are thinking about Christmas far earlier in the year. You wrote this in August. What made you think about Christmas, and what was the inspiration behind the song?
The inspiration behind it was the youth in my family. My nephew's children are always coming over to our house for visits, and I was just thinking about them and with this pandemic that we're going through, and then I started thinking about my childhood Christmas and how wonderful it was, and then all of this song just came to me in 15 minutes. I just thought, I'm going to write this down, and a wonderful song came out.
Can you share it with our audience?
Sure. I sure can. You want me to sing right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, this is a treat.
Waiting in anticipation, excitement building in the air. Santa's on his way to town this year. He's bringing goodies, sweet and toys. Santa, Santa, pay me now. The children are waiting. Santa, Santa, pay me now. Christmas time is coming. It's coming. He's bringing love with lots of cheer. Sleigh bells, Hay horses pull, cocoa, chestnuts, popcorn too. A festive time for one and all. Santa, Santa, pay me now. The children are waiting. Santa, Santa, pay me now. Christmas time is coming. It's coming. Christmas Day is almost here. Presents, feasting, Christmas cheer, great memories, laughter, family time. The Christmas bells are ringing. Whoa. Santa, Santa, pay me now. Mrs. Claus is waiting. Santa, Santa, pay me now. Christmas time is coming. Santa, Santa, pay me now. The children are waiting. Santa, Santa, pay me now. Christmas time is coming. It's coming.
Rhonda, this may not be Carnegie Hall, but you just made a lot of people very happy. First Nations, Inuit, Métis people watching our show, they would not be at your performance at Carnegie Hall. So thank you, and Merry Christmas to you and your family. We're so glad that you could join us and share that with us today.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here today.
So glad that Rhonda shared that with us earlier this week and that we could share it with you today. Still in northern Manitoba is someone who is new to me, but maybe not too new to you. Maybe you're one of those cool cats who got in on the ground floor of his music. Matt Mack is Ojibwe from Garden Hill First Nation. The hip-hop artist has been playing and singing since he was 4. He is completely self-taught on several instruments, writes and produces his own music. I Skyped with him from his home on Monday. Matt, we're so happy that you could join us today. So, you know, you're gonna perform for us a little bit later, which I know everybody will be at home will be happy to wait and see. But can you give us a little bit? How's 2020 been for you? I mean, it's for musicians obviously hit really hard by the pandemic. Nobody's out doing concerts and everything. How have you been staying sane, and what have you been working on?
Well, for me, it's 2020 has been crazy. It's been an interesting year. Obviously, no one's doing shows. I can't do shows, which is kind of disappointing. But it's 2020. It's been an interesting year. It's been an interesting year for me to develop and grow as an artist.
Well, this is certainly, you know, I guess everybody's in lockdown. That's the time to really get into some of the craft, right? We all have nothing else to do but work, really. So you've been using it. I know you've got a new album out.
Yeah, I got a new album out. It's called 2020.
So, you know, a young kid on the res, growing up, I know that you'd started singing gospel music was your beginning, and then you're self-taught. You got into piano and drums and guitar. You know, is this, what advice would you have, I guess, for other young artists who don't have the options of, you know, going in and taking lessons in a big city in an urban center? You know, it didn't hold you back. What advice do you have for other aspiring young musicians?
It all takes time. The things I'm doing, it's very time consuming for sure, and it's an interesting process to be self-taught. I really just took the time and effort. It's a lot of time and effort. So if you're wanting to make it big as an artist or as a musician or anything, just take a lot of time and effort to develop your craft.
What took the longest? I mean, you play so many instruments, you write your own music, you produce your own music. What's the hardest element of it? What took you the most time?
I would say writing, because I'm still improving on my writing as I go. I'm still learning about like a lot of different writing techniques, and I feel writing and like producing.
That's the toughest. You're very active online and on social media. You just had a Facebook Live performance. How did it go, and what do you have coming up?
Yeah, so the performance was this past weekend. I think it went pretty well. A lot of people came out to support the cause. And as for what I got coming up next, I'm currently in production of my next album, and right now we're just focused on 2020's promotion. We're working on like promo for 2020, but yeah, at the same time I'm working on recording and producing the next album right now.
Where can people buy 2020?
So you can get 2020 on all digital platforms. Also, you can get it on my Bandcamp.
Can you play Paradise for us now?
Yeah, I would love to perform Paradise today.
Yay! We're so happy that you could do this for us.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
When I'm with you, I'm in paradise, paradise. I swear my eyes are paralyzed, paralyzed. Cause with you, I'm in paradise, paradise. And trust me, that is rare to find, rare to find. Used to live without a can of life, can of life. And now I am in paradise, paradise. I'll hold you down, I swear I'll try, swear I'll try. I just wanna share the night with you. Remember you, my soul, the balance that I need. You challenge me ways to help me to believe that you're my only hope, a place where I feel safe, a heart made of gold that I will never change. You're beautiful, I know that I will never waste this. Want you to know that I'm so happy that we waited. We have a love that everybody out here chasing. You are my world, so here's my whole heart for your taking. So every day when I wake up, I can't believe my eyes. I feel alive, the deepest of my dreams and alive. I will take your lead, I just wanna take some time, just take my time. When I'm with you, I'm in paradise, paradise. I swear my eyes are paralyzed, paralyzed. Cause with you, I'm in paradise, paradise. And trust me, that is very fine, very fine. Used to live without a can of life, can of life. And now I am in paradise, paradise. I'll hold you down, I swear I'll try, swear I'll try. I just wanna share the night with you. So every day when I wake up, I can't believe my eyes. I feel alive, the deepest of my dreams in life. I will take your lead, I just wanna take some time, just take my time. Yeah.
Maddie, you are such a treasure, and we are so thankful that you would take time to gift us this and share your story with us. And I wish you all the best in 2021. Much success.
Thank you for having me.
All the way from Garden Hill. Thanks so much, Matt Mack.
Thank you.
We have a fun treat for you now. A video put together by Opaskwayak Cree Nation. Thanks to our Weedle for sharing this with us. The OCN Christmas song was written a few years ago by Peter Maristay. He is sung here by Brianna Monroe and Whitney Constant. Enjoy. could Santa not find Opaskwayak with all those lights? Well, we have to take another break, but before we go, the Grinch got caught getting jiggy in Chapaway's First Nation in southern Saskatchewan. Who even knew he had such moves?
You're welcome. Christmas craft fairs with handmade items are usually a big hit in Nunavut. But with COVID-19, there's no craft fairs this year. Now, meet an Inuk who found a way to get her work out there without leaving home.
Every year, Nancy Natanine Gupil makes these one-of-a-kind, handmade seal fur Christmas ornaments. They're a bargain at $20 a pop. Her most popular ones?
The Ulu ones, and the stars, angels, and Inuksuk.
Usually she sells them at the annual Christmas craft fair in Iqaluit. Problem is, with COVID-19 restrictions, there won't be an annual Christmas craft sale in Iqaluit this year. The stars are nice.
It has been challenging because I have to use my Facebook to sell, and I have to put them outside the doorknob, so that we don't have contact with other people.
There are 4 kids at Nancy's, which begs the question, how do you have time for this?
They know when I'm doing my craft, they're not allowed to bother me unless they really need to, like if they're hungry or, and my husband being supportive, he helps me. So.
Seal is as traditional a material as you'll find among Inuit, but making ornaments from seal has its own challenges.
You have to get used to the stretching and other stuff to experiment and to get used to cutting and trying to get them to be beautiful.
The stretching, tell me a little bit about that. It's a stretchable material, right?
Yeah, when I buy commercially tanned, I have to stretch them. I have to put them a little water on the skin side, and leave it in the fridge for 3 hours and stretch it and staple it on the plywood, and then leave it overnight to dry, and then it gets bigger.
This is the payoff. Unique Christmas decorations. Uniquely Inuit. Nancy should sell lots of these online on Saturday morning, but she says the part of an actual craft sale that she's going to miss the most is buying crafts from the other artists in attendance. And you can't replace that online. Kent Driscoll, APTN National News, Iqaluit.
Welcome back. My next guest did a little something just for our InFocus audience in the spirit of the jolly season. Take a look.
Was that Sam the Ham? I'm master of the jig, Ryan Richard, and I want to wish you happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. Why don't we celebrate with a bang?
Joining me now is a champion jigger and Ryan Richard's alter ego, the lovely and talented Sandy Bay, and her darling friend, Sam the Ham. Hi, Sam. We're so thankful that you could join us. Where's Sandy? Oh, look at, he's a happy pig. Ryan!
Hi!
How are you?
I'm good, and how are you doing?
Well, we're good. I'm happy to see your face. It's been too long since you've been in studio here with us.
No kidding, too long.
Way too long. Last time we talked, you were coming back here. We were gonna do a full hour of jig lessons live on InFocus for everybody. I feel like we need to, as soon as we're off lockdown, when we're not grounded anymore, as Rhonda Head was saying, we're all grounded right now. When we're off being grounded, I think that should be one of our first orders of business is for you to come here, and we'll learn how to jig and teach everybody at home how to jig too if they don't know.
definitely. Most definitely.
How have you been holding up during the pandemic? What have you been doing locked down on 2020? I mean, there's not gigs and live shows. Everything's canceled. What are you doing?
Well, I tried a virtual contest. I did the Jigging Idol 2020 back in March.
Oh, that's right. Jeez, I forgot that was this year. It seems so long ago.
Yeah, but then I got so bored again, and then I had another show with fiddlers and jiggers, and I called that one Energy, dancing our spirits up.
When are you planning anything else? You've got, I mean, those variety shows. I checked in on a few of them, and if you pull together just a crazy lineup of good quality entertainers.
Yeah, that was fun. Just a lot of people and a lot of friends that I've met on the road, and just I asked them to see if they wanted to be part of a show, and they agreed, and it was so much fun.
What about, so, speaking of missing shows and being on the road, the drag circuit's obviously one of the casualties of this pandemic too, just like everybody else. What are you hearing from fellow queens? How are they weathering the pandemic storm?
Well, lately I haven't seen or heard anything from my girls, but I know a couple of girls are doing really well. One is having her own business with nails and everything, Accente Goo Nails. And then my other friends, they had a drag bingo, and me, myself, Miss Sandy Bay, I just like doing lives and making people laugh and just spreading that energy. And me, as master of the jig, Brian Richard, I just try to get back into teaching, and then I have Zoom now, so I want to do lessons on Zoom.
Oh, so that's something that people could look forward then too, right? Because I mean, all the lessons that are moving to Zoom now, you're on there and you could teach little aspiring jiggers or old aspiring jiggers like myself. We can do Zoom lessons.
Yes, and I'll send you a certificate for becoming a master jigger when you complete the class.
How do people find you if they're interested in jig lessons by Zoom?
You can reach me on my Facebook page. It's Ryan Guy Richard. Ryan Guy Richard, spelled G-U-Y. And you can also email me at masterofthejig@hotmail.com.
I love this. We were talking, my co-producer Beverly Andrews and I were talking, we think that at some point there should be a Ryan Richard and Melissa Ridging on the road. We just go and travel around to rural parts of wherever and sniff around and see what happens. I wish we could do that now.
Let's try and look for some rare talents out there.
That would be. Can you imagine? You could probably do a reality show just on that search for the raw talent out in our communities around the prairies. Hey.
Yeah, like the whole point of it is just to be yourself and just have fun, and then make people want to be around you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and you've done a lot of that. I know you're super active on social media, especially on Facebook with those lives. Just trying to drum up people's spirits. You are just a blessing for that. What do you have for tips for people that are struggling? I mean, I know those people. I know you see them too. I think we all feel it to some extent. What do you say to people who are feeling isolated, who are kind of sick of this pandemic, sick of the entire year, really?
I just say that you're not alone. We're gonna get through this together, and just take in all the energy that I send to you, and all the love and all the prayers, and just take it, and it'll explode into greatness.
Yeah. Well, I want to hear too, your buddy who we saw in the background there, but a lot of people may not know, Sam the Ham. What's the story with Sam the Ham?
Well, Sam the Ham, I brought him to life from Christmas Spirit, because it's so sad right now during this time, and I thought, let's do a character and let's bring her out of a box by using Christmas Spirit, because Christmas Spirit is dying and you need to bring it back.
No, that's true.
So how the best way? A mascot with a stuffed pig, right? Sam the Ham.
And when Christmas is over, we can celebrate eating Sam the Ham.
No, she's unavailable. Her. She's an escapee, that one.
Do you guys have anything that you could show our audience right now? Do you have any little things up your sleeve?
I actually do have something ready for you guys.
Nice.
Let's show you. Here we go. I don't know if you'll be able to see my feet, but here we go. Ready?
I'm loving your silk shirt. Oh, yeah. That's so amazing. Oh my god, I look at the dog. This is so good. There's random dogs.
Yeah! Well, Merry Christmas, everybody!
Oh my gosh. We love you, Ryan. That brightened all of our day. And Sam the Ham, we love you too. Who are the puppies who made the appearance in there?
That is Chico.
Chico.
This is Chico. And this one right here, you'll never believe it. She has 8 names. It's Tiffany, Amber, Rose, Jewel, Amai, Tenacious, Young, and Richard.
Say that one again. She looks like she looks like she loves her having 8 names, and if you say them, she just gives up all the kisses.
Yes. So I want to say hi, Sam.
Sam,
Thank
it was
you
so
for
nice
coming
to
in.
meet you. Sam the Ham, we really appreciate you guys bringing a little bit of spirit to our show today. I wish you all the best of the season, solstice, Christmas, whatever it is that you're celebrating or not celebrating. We love you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us. We love you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And stay safe and mask up.
Oh, Sandy Bay and Ryan Richard, I love them. Well, we are all out of time for our show today, this Christmas solstice in focus. Oh, wait, no, we have one more performance. Sorry. From Sandy Bay. This is one that she sent us earlier. Sorry about that. You got to take a look.
Did you guys hear that? There's something coming from this box. I think it's Christmas spirit. Do you guys know what Christmas spirit is? I think it's like part of magic that's like Christmas. Let's check it out. I think it's Sam the Ham. Sam. It's Sam the Ham, you guys. She's in the box. I think she was, what? I think she wants to come out and do a show for us. Sam the Ham and Christmas spirit. Oh my God, Sam the Ham! Whoa! I'm Sam the Ham's inner diva, Miss Sandy Bay, all the way from Crane River, Lake Giver. Let's do some dancing!
the ridiculously talented, beautiful Miss Sandy Bay. A, who has legs like that? B, who could even walk in shoes like that? C, who could jig in shoes like that? My ankles were hurting just watching. That is now finally a wrap on your Christmas solstice in focus. Sorry, I forgot we had that one, and I can't believe that we almost forgot to play that for you. Apologies. This is our final in focus of 2020, of course. What a year. Thanks to my talented guests today. Be sure to follow them on social media. Keep up on what they're up to. And we leave you now with Oh Holy Night, sung by Kalolin Johnson in Mi'kmaq. You guys all have a safe and happy holiday and a happy new year from all of us here at InFocus. Merry Christmas.